Ursula von der Leyen. President Metsola, dear Roberta, Minister Bjerre, honourable members. This week's European Council is about facing the reality of the moment, the reality of a world that has become dangerous and transactional, a world of wars, a world of predators. The reality of this world means we Europeans must defend ourselves and we must depend on ourselves. We have been living in this world for some time, even before the biggest wake-up call of all, that was Russia's illegal invasion in Ukraine in February 2022. Yesterday's peace is gone. We have no time to indulge in nostalgia. What matters is how we confront today. We cannot afford to let the world views of others define us. None of us should be shocked by what others say about Europe. But let me say this. It would not be the first time that assumptions about Europe were shown to be outdated. It would not be the first realization that the post-war world order is changing beyond recognition. The national security strategy is right to say, and I quote, Europe has been losing share of global GDP down from 25% in 1990 to 14% today. End of quote. But what is not written is that the figures for the United States are on the same path. The United States has been losing share of global GDP from 22% in 1990 down to 14% today. So this is not a story of an economy on one side of the Atlantic or the other. This is the story of the shift in the world economy. If you take China alone, their share of global GDP went up from 4% in 1990 to 20% today. And this is why the United States has been clear for some time about its shifting strategic interests and priorities as China rises. The point I am making is this strategy is not the cause of the disruption that Europe is facing in the world. It is a symptom of the reality of today's world. So our task at this week's summit is to show that we are focused on our own strategy and our own interests and our own priorities. And this is why I want to repeat from this very place where I said it in the State of the Union, this is Europe's independence moment. Ever since we started using this term, independence, many have been sceptical about what that entails. Is it even realistic? Well, just look at what we have already done. From defence to energy, we have made the impossible possible as part of our new reality. And we are ready to do more. Because in our independence, we make ourselves stronger. A stronger Europe is a stronger partner, not just to promote, but to guarantee a safer world. And let us look at the progress we have made. We are entering a new era, and that is Europe's energy independence from Russian fossil fuels. And this House has been a leader on this from day one on, and I thank you for that. Your efforts have paid off. Your efforts have paid off because, thanks to Repower EU, Russian gas imports, so LNG and pipeline, are down from 45% at the beginning of the war to 13% today. Coal imports are down from 51% at the beginning of the war to 0. And crude oil from 26% at the beginning of the war to 2% today. All this means We are going to phase out Russian fossil fuels for good and forever. And just a few years ago, this was unthinkable. But we acted, and we earned our independence from Russia. This is not a coincidence. This is hard work that we've done together. And this is hard work that was driven by what makes us European, our sense of purpose, our union, our political will. We now have our template for the way forward, whether it be on critical raw materials, with our Resource EU plan, or on diversification and strengthening supply chains through ambitious trade agreements from Latin America to the Indo-Pacific. Europe's era of independence must be unstoppable. And we have more work to do. We have to go further. We must move swiftly. And that is particularly important when it comes to security and defence. The bottom line is simple. Europe